There are freak athletes in every single draft class. On both sides of the ball this year, there are so many players that should not be able to move in the ways that they do with the size that they possess. But LSU defensive tackle Maason Smith is one of the freakiest athletes I've ever seen in my short time studying the NFL draft. He is quick, he is strong, and he has unbelievable size for the position. After an up and down collegiate career with plenty of struggles, how high should Smith hear his name called in the 2024 NFL Draft? That is what we will be going over in today's video. But hey guys, if you guys are new to the channel, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Leave a comment and let me know which players you guys would like to see me break down in a future video, and without further ado, let's get into it. The story of Maason Smith is one of lots of highs and lows. In 2021, his true freshman season, he was absolutely out of this world. He had 19 tackles, 12 hurries, and 4 sacks on the season for the Tigers, and for a true freshman, those numbers were absolutely absurd, and we thought he had the potential to be a legit top 5 pick when he became draft eligible. But unfortunately, he played in one game in 2022 before tearing his ACL, which sidelined him for the entire season. In 2023, he did come back, and he had an okay season, finishing with 27 tackles, 18 hurries, 2 hits, and 3 sacks, but it was nothing to write home about, and the LSU defense as a whole was very underwhelming. But after a very impressive showing at the draft combine, the Maason Smith hype train is picking up steam yet again. Smith has absolutely freakish size. He is 6'5", 306 pounds, with elite arm length, wingspan, and massive hands. He is perfect as an interior 4-3 defensive tackle, but the exciting part about Smith is it doesn't stop there with him. That is just the beginning. In his true freshman season, LSU lined Smith up at the edge. To be 306 pounds and have the athleticism to play the edge rusher position is absolutely ridiculous, but Smith does. He is an unreal athlete. He has an explosive first step, and he shows some elite upside as a pass rusher. He showcases the ability to chase down the quarterback, and he is a very quick runner. On top of that, he has ridiculous strength. He is able to just bulldoze offensive linemen and just run them over entirely. He is strong, explosive, and big, which are all things that you love from interior defensive linemen. As a pass rusher, Smith showed some really nice upside. We talked about him athletically, but fundamentally he has some tools that you can fall in love with. He can bull rush, but he showcased a filthy swim move, and he has the ability to win with moves. He isn't a one-dimensional pass rusher, which is absolutely fantastic to see. Other than the swim move, he didn't have a ton to write home about, and his hand placement can be inconsistent, but I really like what he shows in terms of rushing the passer. Smith also shows some really nice abilities as a run defender, which is yet another area of his that I like. He closes gaps quickly, and he is a strong tackler that seems to be in every pile. Smith is an awesome athlete, but there are legitimate concerns. After his injury, he never really showed the same explosiveness, which I know is crazy to say because he's still very explosive and is still a freak athlete, but it isn't the same. Knee injuries are always a big concern, and I think there are some legitimate concerns with Smith, especially with lack of production and his health. On top of this, Smith does have the tendency to completely stop his feet when he makes contact. He needs to keep his feet churning and keep fighting to win the rep, and when he stops his feet, it causes him to play off balance and get overpowered by offensive linemen. That is a big area in which I think Smith can improve. Maason Smith is a guy who is still a project, but the upside with him is absolutely ridiculous. We don't see players of this size, this athletically gifted, come around too often. But with the injuries, the lack of production, as well as some technical issues in run support, there is cause for concern. He is my number 9 defensive tackle in the class. He has upside, and I wouldn't be surprised if he shows out and is an absolute superstar in the NFL, but there are some questions heading into the draft. He is my number 92 overall player in the class. Maason Smith is an extremely versatile player. He could play a defensive tackle in a 4-3 scheme. I could see him being an inside edge in a 3-4. He has the versatility and the athleticism to play virtually anywhere on the defensive line. However, I think he fits best as a 4-3 defensive tackle. Whether that's as a run-stopping tackle or as a pass rush tackle, I think he has the ability to play both. If Maason Smith is ever able to reach his full potential, I think he could be a Calais Campbell type of player. I know RAS scores are the talk of the town, but they both have very similar RAS scores as they have similar size and similar athletic numbers all across the board, and had some similar concerns coming out of school. If he reaches his full potential, I think Maason Smith can be a perennial all-pro kind of player, but it's all up in the air. The potential with Maason Smith is absolutely ridiculous. He has elite size, elite athleticism, and his ceiling is sky high. I think he's going to go high because people are going to absolutely fall in love with the idea of what Maason Smith can become, and ultimately, I believe Maason Smith is going to be a top 75 pick in the 2024 NFL Draft.